Welcome to Speakers TV, and wherever you are in the world, there is a reason why you've joined here on this amazing Wednesday. Guys, in this episode, we're going to bring to you some of the best speakers, some of the best influencers, and not only that, we're also showcasing a number of our students who have gone on to either write best-selling books, to be on TEDx stages, or ultimately get them to share their journey on how they made it from an ordinary life through to knowing exactly what their story is and then ultimately learning how to get that story out there. We truly believe in you, and I'm really glad you're tuning in to our Wednesday episode of Speakers TV. We'll see you on the other side.
Before I came to the Speakers Institute, I was unclear on this message and how to get it across to my audience. I knew I was destined for bigger things. So I joined the Speakers Institute to hone in on my message and make sure it was perfectly clear and hitting the right mark. Thank you, Speakers Institute. Because of that, I've really been able to get deep on my message. When you're motivating your staff, when you're motivating your clients, even when you're motivating the kids, what's in it for them? What's their motivation? And focus on that first.
Really, it's time to play that bigger speaker game. You are ready. You do have that worthy information. And I believe I can see over the next 5 years, you can take the motivation globally.
Our next speaker, another speaker who needs little introduction in our proximity. He is a communication specialist. He's a certified speaking coach, an international speaker, an author, a trusted and respected Speakers Institute facilitator, coach, and presenter. His vision is to help people understand that effective communication changes your destination. Please welcome to the stage Warren Tate.
It was the 24th of September, 1966. AFL or VFL back then, grand final day. Barry Broom picks up the ball in the half-forward flank and he kicks a mongrel punt and it's going for a goal, point, one behind, but known as a point if you're not from Victoria. The mighty Saints won the grand final and beat Collingwood. Come on, Saints supporters, yay! We need more Victorians in here, or more St Kilda supporters anyway. My parents are avid Saints supporters. They love the Saints. And that was our one and only grand final, and still is, unfortunately. It was 9 months after that day, on the 24th of June, 1967. Don't know what I'm going to say yet. I was born. I was either an oops baby or an AFL Grand Final celebration baby. I'd like to think the latter. I am the youngest of 4 children. Being an oops baby, you think the youngest, I'm going to get all the attention and get all the loving and caring and get all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, my mum had to work full time. My dad worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. Tripe, mince on toast, and my favourite, sausages with mashed potato. No, not the mashed potato you're thinking of. Deb potato. Powdered potato. But that was our life growing up. My next eldest brother, 4 years older than me, was a bad man. Self-confessed bad man. Nice criminal record. He was in gangs. He did stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. And he got a lot of attention because of it. He got a lot of attention from mum and dad. You also got a lot of attention from these blokes in blue uniforms who are regular visitors at our home. I thought, I'm not getting the attention that I want. He's getting the attention. He's getting the attention. He's doing this sort of stuff. I'm going to start hanging out with him. So I did. I joined him and his mates and his gang mates. I'd hang out with them and do stuff that I'm really not proud of today. I would drink beers with them on the 3rd floor of Southland Shopping Centre from the age of 15. The communication tools that I used back then are not quite the same as what I use now. They were these. Now, I was a skinny, dweeby little kid, so to succeed and to get attention, I had to use these pretty well. Because of this, clearly schooling wasn't a priority for me. So year 11 were the best 2 years of my life. And that was it. That was the end of my education in regards to school. Although I went on and did some further education. So I don't tell you this to impress you. I tell you this to impress upon you. It's irrelevant what your background is. It's irrelevant what your upbringing is. It's irrelevant what your education is. It's irrelevant what your ethnicity is. It's irrelevant what your street smarts are. What we do here is a learnt skill. I wasn't born this way, thank goodness, my mother says. But you can learn this skill, and every single one of you can. So when I was born with a hole in my heart. That's me at 15, believe it or not. As you see, dweeby, skinny little kid. It wasn't so small that it would mend itself, wasn't so big that it needed to be operated on straight away. It was the Goldilocks hole in the heart. But it held me back because when you have blood and oxygenated blood not going through your body the way it should, it impacts on your growth. So when I started playing sport, I wanted to be really good. I was determined. But I'd also use this as a crutch. And it wasn't until I met a man called Mr. Parker, who was my PE teacher and my hockey coach. And he was an asshole, let's be frank. Hill climbs, sprints, all of this, and I'd say, I can't. Hole in the heart. He's gone, if you want to get in this team, I don't give it about your hole in the heart. You're either going to put in or go home. I said, that's harsh. He said, I believe in you. So do the work and you'll get rewarded. So that lovely man, Mr. Parker, I'll call him the lovely man now, pushed me harder than anybody else has ever pushed me. He made me do more hill sprints, more laps around the hockey field than anybody else, than any other kid. Because he saw something in me that I didn't. He saw a level of determination that I couldn't see. Who's seeing what you have inside you? Who's got your back? Who's your mentor that's seeing is what's inside of you and bringing the best out in you? Or are you holding it within? Because every one of you in here has the ability to be on this stage and many stages around the world. This is a learnt skill. I wasn't born this way. So the 3 most powerful lessons that I learnt on my journey to be a professional speaker. Number 1, and I'll show you my level of dedication. Well, some people have seen my level of dedication who were here last year at the Stackers. I believe in you should always be learning, always be learning, always be learning, always upgrading, always working on this skill. If you want to be the best you can be at this game, at being a professional speaker, every single day you must put in the yards. Not every now and again when you've got a presentation, not every now and again when you've been booked for a presentation or a talk. Every single day. So I live and breathe this. It's called the Kaizen principle. It was a Japanese philosophy. I won't go into too much detail, but I have it tattooed on my bicep. Are you willing to tattoo your values on your body? I know you don't put tattoos on a Ferrari, sorry, or stickers on a Ferrari. Got that metaphor wrong. But this is what I do every single day. I'm at the gym and I have my headphones in and I listen and I learn. I listen and I learn from my mentors. I go into such detail. I go into the history, the science, the biology, and the psychology to make sure that I am the best that I can be. I don't just look at how I can structure a presentation. I want to connect with you. I want to connect on a level that you can't imagine. So I work on it every single day. By the way, stagecraft, Sebastian Maniscalco. He's a comedian. He's not a speaker, but a comedian is the ultimate speaker when you think about it. He is amazing with his stagecraft and how he facial expressions and what he does. So I learn from everybody. And he is the best comedian in the US and I believe worldwide. The second lesson that I learnt. It's not about you. It's not about you. And this would be one of the most valuable lesson that I've ever learnt. Because I thought I was good. I thought I was bloody good. I was up here for self-gratification. I was up here for ego. Hope you like me. Hope you like what I'm wearing. It was all about me, and I didn't give a damn about my audience. Until I caught up with Sam Cawthorn. Some of you may know him. It was 4 years ago. It was at the showgrounds down in Melbourne. He was speaking at an event, and he said, "Warren, I'd love to catch up with you and just see how things are going." Andrea Putting was there. And we met and we caught up and had a bite to eat. And he said, "So Warren, how's it all going?" I said, "Oh, great, Sam, it's going really well. I've got a few speaking engagements and doing a bit of training and coaching out there in the marketplace, but no, look, it could be better naturally." Sam just looked at me and he said, "Warren, there's one thing that's holding you back. There's one thing, and until you do this, you're going to stay where you are. You are not going to go anywhere, and you'll stay put. You just won't go anywhere." Well, this is great. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the vote of confidence. And this was the volume he said of that. Until you understand this one thing, Warren, you are not going anywhere. It's not about you. It's never about you. Shit. Got it. But that was the turning point in my career. That was the turning point. If I can help people in my audience, and then they go on and help others, and the multiplying effect from that, that was the realization that, wow, how powerful this is. I realized that if I help one person in an audience, and they go on and help 1,000 people, my job is done. But just do the multiplying effect on that. Every single one of you can do that. Every single one of you can do that. But just focus on your audience. It reminds me of a PBC that we did, a Premier Boot Camp in Sydney. And there was a big fella. I wish I could remember his name. Somebody in the audience may remember. He was a lighthouse keeper. He was about 6'4" and 4 foot wide. And he was sort of a country kid. He said, "Yeah, well, I can't do this, Warren. This was Saturday afternoon. I can't do this. I'm not true to my message. I'm just not getting it across. It's not who I am. Nobody wants to hear my message." I said, "Well, why are you here?" He said, "Well, this product that I'm working on, what I'm delivering and what I want to talk about changed my life." I said, "How did it change your life?" He said, "Well, my mortgage was up to here. My kids couldn't get clothes for them. The arse was falling out the back of my pants. Until I discovered this product. And it's turned my world around. It's changed my life. It's changed my children's life. It's saved my marriage. It's saved my house. It's saved me." I said, "Well, stop focusing on you. Look at your audience. And if somebody who's just like you in your audience, imagine saving their life, saving their kids, saving their house, saving where they are today, transforming them from where they are to where they want to be. That one person could be in the audience today, and you don't know that. Don't be so selfish." He got up on that stage on Sunday, nailed it, had everybody in tears, and a standing ovation. It's not about you. The last one is emotion. We are in the business of emotion, and it took me a long time. In fact, it took the beautiful Kate Cawthorne for me to realise this. To be vulnerable, to share your stories and not be afraid. You see, empathy on my scale in the Gallup Strength Test, I believe it's the strongest of all because it's holding up all the others at 33. So it must be strong to hold up all those other strengths. But we need to be emotional. When we tap into people's hearts, that's when they make decisions and justify it through their head. We are in the business of emotion, and you need to share your message from stage. How long have you got to live? Interesting question, isn't it? We don't know, do we? Michelle quite clearly said that yesterday. We don't know. So why are we waiting? Why are we holding back? Why are we not sharing our message? Why are we not doing everything that we should be doing to achieve what we want to achieve? Because I learnt this lesson through my father. If I can get the slide up. This photo was taken 15 years ago at this resort, at SeaWorld. It was the last photo that he would have with my children. What we didn't know at this point was my dad had cancer. It wasn't diagnosed for another 1.5 years. No symptoms, no external symptoms, no nothing. And within 8 weeks of being diagnosed, he passed. He taught me many things. He taught me to be vulnerable, and that he did really love me, although love comes in different types of packages sometimes. A wooden spoon on the arse I didn't think was love. He also taught me when you get a job, you do your best and you work your hardest and you do everything possible to be successful. Everything possible. And he also taught me to give back. The Cheltenham Swimming Club down in Melbourne would not be in existence today if it wasn't for my mum and dad and their involvement and their charity work which they did to keep that club alive. And then they transferred that up to the Gold Coast here with being part of the Benora Point Residents Association. And their selfless, tireless charity and community work that they would always give back. And it took me some time to realise this with my father, and I knew that I had an opportunity here when he was passing. Because I saw it as a great opportunity because I could have this conversation with him, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to tell him because I even had trouble talking about it on stage. So I wrote it in a letter. And I reread that letter last night. And I remember walking into the hospital and there was Dad. Window here looking out over the Gold Coast at the Gold Coast Hospital. And here he was, yellow eyes, in a bad state. I just walked around and gave it to him. We shared a beautiful moment when he read it. And the most beautiful part was when Mum came in and he said, "This is from Woz, you're not to touch it until I pass." So this journey has taken me a long way. From the lessons that I've learned in learning how to speak on stage to the lessons my father taught me to be a great dad. But we have been given a gift, the gift of communication, the gift to be able to share our messages, the gift to make a difference. So stop playing small, live your vision, because communication really can change your destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Warren. We have another round of applause.
Sam Cawthorne Stefan here, CEO and founder of Speakers Institute. If you give me 60 seconds of your time, I'll show you how to set up an online webinar in 48 hours while growing your authentic followers to tens of thousands, and then teach you how to package your IP so they buy your programs online using what we call influence on video. What this means is you talk to camera, share your value, and then stack your offerings and create urgency in a way that makes it so irresistible that they click the button and purchase your high ticket sale. Talk with any of our clients globally, and I promise you will not find anyone that does what we do. All you have to do is to create an online event, share your ideas, and then stack your offerings just like this. And here's the big secret. Everyone is online right now searching for people just like you to help them learn things that you already know. There are people doing it right now, but they probably don't know as much as you. So right now is your chance to learn how to sell online, and my influence on video formula is easy to use and foolproof for anyone to master. Just recently, I did a 1.5 hour video online to only 40 people, and at the end, 10 of them bought my $4,000 product, all by one click of the button. It was seamless. So if you want me to show you how to influence on video, stack your offerings that make it irresistible, learn my exact script so you can come across authentic and real, and create urgency so then they buy immediately, then click on the link below and join my free masterclass.
Share, how good the feeling was after completing the session, and I think the feedbacks were just too good. So that is forcing me to think beyond. I think it was pretty linear thinking earlier, and now it is pretty diversified. So that is very helpful.
Thank you, Charlene, Christiane, and Sam, for obviously the benefit and the inspiration you've given to so many of us, and to all the participants, because I think for me personally, this is the first time I've felt that I've been in such a safe space to be vulnerable and to make mistakes. And I know that a lot of us have shared some really traumatic events in our life, possibly for the first time publicly. So that's just been a really huge thing. So thank you for everyone for opening up, and for people to open up and be authentic.
I'd like to firstly acknowledge you, Sam. Thank you so much for instituting the Speakers Institute, and all of the lovely people who've attended today. I think they've done an absolutely wonderful job. I think all of their stories are worthy of stage presence. I think you'll all go very far.
I just wanted to say, being out of the workforce for 6 years, looking after little kids, and this is the first course I've ever done, and it was astounding. It blew my mind. It was beyond my expectations. And thank you, Kate, for the feedback today. That was brilliant, and it's given me the confidence to back myself, because I didn't have that before. Because, you know, when you leave for a while and you come back, it's all a bit dodgy. So thank you.
And it was really an experience which I was looking for, to give that push, the last push which is needed, because I'm very low on execution. So your story and your message gave me that push which I really needed. So thank you very much, and also to the fellow participant for bearing with me.
Thank you, everyone. You've all inspired me today, and I want to thank you, Sam, for putting this on, and Christiane and Charlene inspired me to come through conversations we had, and so I'd like to thank her in particular, and got a lot out of it. So thank you, everyone, and thanks for all the lovely comments.
First of all, I would like to say thank you, massive thank you to every single one of you. It was a great company. Proximity is power. I'm overwhelmed with all the love and energy and everything else. I've learned so much. And by this sheer circumstances, by now, that I'm sitting at home and I actually can do it. I'm blown away that I'm actually doing it. It's amazing.
And I really want to thank you, Sam, for this amazing course.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank every single one of you, especially you, Sam, and all of the mentors as well. There can be at times where we're alone. We think we're the only ones, we feel like we're the only ones going through that, and to share would be to burden each other. But in a space like this, it actually brings us closer together. So thank you very much for sharing all your stories, and thank you for the opportunity.
I'd actually just like to thank Sam and the team so much for everything you've done, but I'd really like to thank everybody else. I have learnt so much from all of you. it's just been so exhilarating. I'm so excited for each and every one of you because it's just the growth in such a short space of time has been phenomenal. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It has been absolutely awesome. I've learned a hell of a lot today and I really feel like we're all improving. So thank you so much. It's been really awesome.
I wish everyone all the best on the course. I think it's a wonderful course. And Sam, you've created an amazing business. But I also want to congratulate the people you've got working underneath you, because it wouldn't be that great if you didn't have all this wonderful resource. And I congratulate them for supporting you. It's excellent.
Thank you very much. All the feedbacks were golden for me. I learned a lot. Plus, how I should not try to put I should not try to put all the information in those 6 minutes. I should let the audience absorb what I'm trying to convey. They should absorb my story. And so as the energy level should fluctuate properly at the right moment. So thank you very much for that.
So I want to say, look, I've forever been doing courses and programs. I've probably spent over $350,000 in my life. This was worth every cent. I'm very, very impressed with the level of knowledge of the coaches, and they just kept offering gold nugget after gold nugget. Definitely was worth every minute as well. Yeah, I really want to thank the coaches, and I've noticed a difference in everyone as well over the last couple of days as well. So thanks.
Guys, I just wanted to say my work relies on face-to-face workshops, speaking at conferences around the world. So investing in this course is really about looking to the future. So it's really an investment in the long term. It's been a really, really professionally put together course. So commendations all round to all of you.
To all the staff from Speakers Institute, you guys have been really supportive and really, really lovely and encouraging. But to everybody else, for all of your honesty and your courage for stepping up here and just giving all, because I've learned so much from every single one of you and it's just been really, really good. Thank you.
My name is Sarah Cordiner, and a long time ago I was one of the proteges. Now back then I had absolutely no idea where I was going to go. I was an expert in my field, but I was working very much in the corporate space. I also had no followers on any social media accounts. I had no email list. I had no people anywhere on a database that was out there in the public market. But I knew that I needed and wanted to get out, get online and make a difference to the world. And I knew that the only way I'd be able to do that is to go out and start speaking, putting myself out there as an individual. And it was really confronting because there's all these kind of things that we go through. Will people like me? Will people engage with me? Will anyone even care about what I have to say? Will people mock me? Will people criticize me? Will I be torn down by my competitors or trolls? So I had all of these worries, like everyone else does, not knowing where I was going to start. You know, do I start with the logo, the website, the message, the thing, the branding, the story? It's all very, very overwhelming. So I want to reassure you guys that I was absolutely there. After going on Sam's program, I have gone on to win multiple awards. I have now got over 20,000 students in 146 countries. I have been listed by the Huffington Post as one of the top 50 must-follow female entrepreneurs. I've published 12 books, 5 of which have gone to international #1 bestseller. I recently was headhunted by a university and now hold the record for being the youngest university director in Australian history. And I have done all of this from working in the spare bedroom in my house. I now have a multi-million-dollar education company with children running around. And one of the things that I really want to make clear to other people is that everyone can do this. Every single person. I had no special starting point. I had no investors. I've never had anyone give me money. I absolutely have just started on the corner of a kitchen table with nothing but a dream, a drive, and an ambition. And that is the only thing you need to get started.
This is the Celebrity Authority Show. Please welcome your host, Sam Cawthorne.
Hey, well, welcome along to the show. Super excited today. We have Rita Barbagallo here in the studio. Rita, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Rita, you're a motivational, inspirational speaker, and I like how also you call yourself how you've been barbified.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit more. What do you mean by that?
Okay, I started a brand called Barbie Barb, and I've just extended that throughout the years.
Okay.
A chain of companies which I work with So,
Very good.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm super excited to find out a little bit more about your that career path, etc. And by the way, you look absolutely. I reckon you're the best dressed person in our studio
Oh, God bless
we've
you.
ever had.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, tell us a little bit more about your journey.
Okay, I'm a country girl from up in the north.
Northern.
North coast of New South Wales.
Right.
From a big family, 8 siblings, all up. So 7 girls and 1 boy.
Where do you fit in?
5th.
You're on number 5, so
Yes,
pretty much so in the
yes,
middle-ish,
yes.
yeah.
So I grew up on the farm and basically drove tractors, trucks, worked on the farm, mechanical stuff. You know, it was all, strong, hard yakka, basically. Yes. And in the late 80s, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. And I had 26 operations in 5.5 years.
Sorry, what type of cancer?
Endometrial, which is like the ovarian, cervix, yeah. Okay. So endometrial cancer that actually spread to 4 different areas. And I was given 8 months to live. They could not do anything for me here in Australia. And there was a technique that was, it wasn't legal in Australia at the time, but in Belgium, in Louvain Hospital, one of the most amazing hospitals in the world back then, and still today, they were working on this Stanton's transplant, which is basically pork skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they needed a guinea pig.
Wow.
And they gave me 8 months. So I thought, I've always been open to donating my body for science. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? So I made the trip over to Louvain.
Wow. How old were you then?
I think it was about 23 or nearly 23.
Yeah, so this was last year?
Yes, yesterday. Yesterday, yes.
Continue on.
Yeah. So I made the trip over there on my own because my husband was running the businesses.
Okay.
And I had an operation that actually went really wrong. And I had a major heart attack on the operating table. Less than 24 hours later, I got peritonitis, which is the poisoning of the blood, and they had to do a second operation, which then the heart started to fail again, and I was put on life support, and I spent 3 months in intensive care over in Louvain. I got severe amnesia, couldn't feel my legs, my arms, had to learn how to walk, how to think again, was in a wheelchair for 3 months and lived off a machine that was attached to me with about 20 different probes and bits and pieces. So it was easy for me to give up at that point because I'd had enough. But I've been married for 30 years to a beautiful, gorgeous husband of mine. He is very inspirational and motivates me to be me.
Yeah.
And I always said to him that if we ever got to a situation in our life where we really needed to be lifted, don't be shy to be rude.
Come on.
So when I remember the day, I actually remember it very clearly, waking up out of a coma, and I looked at him and I said, Sal, I've had enough, babe. I can't do this anymore. And he looked at me and goes, don't you dare be so selfish. He goes, okay, don't do it for you, but you have to do it for me.
Wow.
So then I took charge of the situation at the time. But it's affected, it's affected a lot of things in my life. It set off Parkinson's runs in my family, so the gene that I have finally let itself out of the bag through that trauma. I've got severe myalgia from it. But life's good. Every day I put my feet on the floor in the morning is a great day.
You are so inspiring, Rita. Hey, what's your message now for the world?
Well, the fact that I actually died and was put on life support and came back I want to inspire people that once you actually love yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself, you will then be able to influence others and inspire others to grow. You know, it's basically an extension of what you were. Even after what you've been through, you can actually pull through bigger and better.
And we certainly are always inspired by other people's stories and inspired by other people's experiences, etc., etc. And look, it's such a powerful, inspiring story you have, Rita. Rita, what do you do in your spare time to recharge your tank, other than look amazing every single day?
Well, I actually like my own company. So when I can, I go fishing from my backyard. I live on the water.
Yeah.
I love to cook, and I've done quite a few cooking shows throughout my time. And basically, I love to create.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does that what the future looks like? Like, what's next for you?
Travel the world. I've been to 62 countries now.
Wow.
And everywhere I go, I spend time in orphanages. Everywhere. I spend one day of every travel experience I have.
Just because you want to meet or you want to
Yes, you
experience?
have to give back.
Yeah.
You know, my tragedy was also the best thing that happened to me. Because I don't think I would be who I am today if that hadn't happened to me. So I've got to give back.
That is, you are so inspiring on so many levels, and thank you so much for sharing your story and your message with us here today in the studio. Hey, look, just before you go, we have this challenge that we do have with all of our guests, and the challenge is called 10 minutes in, sorry, should I say 10 questions in 10-second challenge. So Rita, do you accept the challenge?
Absolutely.
All right, Rita. Your time starts now. Favourite colour?
Red.
Of course. Favourite food?
Tom Yong Gun,
Ooh.
which is Thai food.
Yes.
I'll make it.
Do you really?
I make it.
Oh, I'm coming to your place. Favourite celebrity?
I would say Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. She is very inspiring. Favourite actor?
Sean Connery.
Favourite professional speaker?
That would be Dr. John DeMartini.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Favourite book?
Funny enough, the original Woman's Weekly cookbook.
Really?
Cookbook, yeah. Simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Favourite movie?
The Green Mile.
Oh, that's a great movie. Favourite city?
Alaska and Los Angeles.
Favourite drink?
Gin and tonic girl.
Gin and tonic girl. And favourite pizza topping?
Artichokes.
Artichokes. And Rita, if you could be an animal, which animal would you be?
Well, I would definitely be the red peacock.
Why?
Because red's my favourite colour. The red peacock is very strong. It's a presence, and once you see it, you'll never forget it.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Celebrity Authority Show, Rita. Before transcendence, there was, and there is, transformation. The path of transformation is both challenging and rewarding. One man who has taken on the transformation challenge and won is here today to share his rewards with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the transformed man, Sean Nicholas O'Leary.
And thank you for giving me your attention today, because I'm here to share with you my feelings. Actually, I'll share one feeling with you because it's the most powerful feeling of all. It's a feeling that transcends all others. It's a feeling that I have with me every moment of the day. And it's a feeling that gives me my unstoppable energy. I want to share with you how this feeling came to be so powerful for me. And I want to share with you the 5 steps of transformation that lead to the energy and this feeling. This feeling is the feeling of pure joy. Now, I'm not talking about the blissful joy that puts a smile on your face, or even the joy that comes from absence of sadness. I'm talking about the deep, intense joy that sits in your heart and brings you bliss and inner peace. Let me explain it this way. This feeling came to me about 9 months into my transformation journey. I'd lost over 30 kilos in weight. I'd started to transform my mental, spiritual, and emotional issues. And there I was, standing in the shower. As I was reliving the journey, thinking about all the struggles and all the triumphs, an overwhelming sensation came to me. As I was standing there, I felt all energy, all feeling, all thought empty away, as if I was being washed away with the water. And then, in this emptiness, a new energy started to rise, a powerful, pulsating, vibrating energy. It came up through my feet, through my shins, into my thighs, into my torso, into my lungs, into my shoulders, into my neck. And as it expanded up through my head, it filled every cell of my body. And as it filled every part of my body, a powerful force brought this energy back into my core. And it pushed this energy up into my heart. And when it got to my heart, I felt boom. And for a moment, all energy, feeling, and thought stopped. And then it streamed back in, deep into the core of my heart, pulsating, powerful. At that moment, I knew that I transformed. I knew that I transcended. I knew that I transcended my past life, my past actions, behaviors, emotions, and feelings. I was in a place where I felt pure joy. And I knew I was never going back. I want to share with you the 5 steps of transformation that I went through, because I truly believe that if I can do it, you can too. Not just in health and fitness, but in any pursuit and purpose. And as you can see, transformation is what I live. So the first step in transformation is to stop. Stop, take a reality check. Wake up and become aware. Become aware of what you have, who you are, how you operate. Because awareness is the precursor to positive change. Awareness is the precursor to positive change. My awareness came like a freight train, smashing my 42 years of life into pieces. I left a long-term marriage. I left a business that wasn't making any money. And there I was, somehow survived, but in a 135 kilo mass of a body, with a long, long list of chronic health issues. But this new awareness gave me a choice. Gave me the choice to give up or move forward. And that's the second step in transformation. Move, take action, change direction, get in motion, move away from what's causing you pain. So I got into action. I started to search and seek and discover. I did get a little bit fitter, a little bit healthier. I started to transform my mental, emotional, and spiritual self. But my 28 years of dieting, anxiety, and emotional and health issues didn't give me the breakthrough strategies for me to transform. So I took the third step in transformation. I reached out for guidance. And now when I talk about guidance, I talk about the guidance of a master who has traveled the path before you, who has the knowledge and expertise that he can bring to you, someone you resonate with and is willing to help. Fortunately for me, my master happened to be a friend who was an elite physique athlete. And he showed me the way. He showed me what to do, but I did the work. He showed me the fourth step of transformation. He taught me that it's the routines and rituals that lead to the change. The actions that you do over and over and over again that compound to bring about the transformation. He taught me that it's the application of the information that leads to the transformation. It's the doing of the knowing that creates the change. I did the work, I made the changes. But there's one more step. There's one more step, but I can't show you or teach you this step. It's something you have to do. And that is to let go. Let go and believe in possibility. Go on faith. Follow the path, continue the journey. Take your awareness with you. Move, take action. Follow the guidance of a master. Do the routines and rituals. Apply the information. Create the transformation. If you follow these steps, you will transform. When you transform, you get to a place along the journey where you put yourself into a position where you can transcend. And in that position of transcendence, you will feel the power of pure joy. And when you feel that power of pure joy, you too will have an unstoppable energy. Thank you.
Do you remember your parents loving you to the core no matter how you were? The reason why I joined Speakers Institute's boot camp is to only improve better, because learning is a continuous process. And I do think that I have become one of the greatest influencers that you will see. I spent my entire teenage being called names. And I saw other girls, other women, other boys as well being called names. We as humans are so quick in passing a comment to somebody based on their appearance. And I faced all of that.
You know, the universe gives us challenges to create greatness.
Yes.
And I think you are on the tipping point of that greatness. The old is gone, the new is here. Step out into the world and create that change, and you are going to be the change for so many people. Congratulations.
Stories are the most powerful way to win people's attention. However, we don't really care about your story at all unless it's made relevant. Hey guys, Sam Cawthorne here, CEO and founder of Speakers Institute. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a little bit more how to make stories relevant to the listener. It's really interesting because I've actually been sharing my story now for over 15 years on stages all around the world, in 40 countries, even shared the stage with President Bill Clinton, Dalai Lama, Richard Branson, even Michael Jordan. And one thing I've found all throughout my journey is the most powerful storytellers are those people that have learned how to connect their story to the listener. However, I feel it's no longer about just telling a story. It's also about showing how the story is relevant to the listener. It's actually based on one of my latest books, which is called Story Showing, How to Stand Out from the Storytellers, even launched by the world's largest business book publishing house, which is called Wiley. So guys, in this video, very short video, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about how to make a story relevant through the power of my toggle framework. So guys, again, we don't care about your story at all unless it's made relevant. So how we make a story relevant is first of all by sharing a story, then telling us, what did you learn in that story? What is the content that you learned? Like, what did you learn in that experience? Yeah. So first of all, share with us a story, share with us a journey or an experience, but then tell us, what did you learn? What did you catch in that experience? But then the last element here is show. Show us why it's relevant to us. You know, show the WIFM. What is WIFM? WIFM is what's in it for me. And one thing I found is that across the board, the greatest people that can make their story relevant to anyone is by then toggling their story, yeah? By them, first of all, sharing a story or sharing a journey or sharing an experience, yeah? And then telling us, what did they learn in that experience? What did you learn in that environment? Tell us the content, like tell us something teachable that you learned in that experience, but then you have to and you must show us why it is relevant to us being the listener. This is one of the most powerful ways to actually win people's attention through our toggle framework. And as you can see here, here's some examples of some actual sentences that you can use, yeah, under each one of these. So ultimately under story, there was this one time when, or there was this one time, you know, or a few years ago, or I remember, and then tell us the content. This is where I learned. Also, today I want to teach you how to, or the biggest lesson for me was, and then the WIFM, you know, have you ever felt this? Or hands up, this is, or do you remember that time then that also happened to you? Guys, this toggle framework is one of the most powerful ways, as I was saying, to engage people through the power of a story. And ultimately, we then can learn how to evoke emotion into the listener, thus influence them in a powerful way. I truly, truly believe that if you really want to be an influencer in the world, if you want to make a difference, you must be in the business of emotion. Because ultimately with AI, machine learning, they will always now trump human beings on data, research, evidence. However, the bottom line is that as human beings, we are emotional creatures. So when we learn how to share an everyday journey, an everyday story into a powerful edge-of-the-seat thriller, if we learn how to evoke emotion into the listener, we'll be able to influence anyone at all. And guys, if you're interested, why don't you check out some stuff that we do here at Speakers Institute, because ultimately the best way to learn this is by you getting feedback from us and then ultimately work on that feedback, then come back and present in front of us. And every single one of our programs is all based on feedback. Hey guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing you make more of a difference in the world and utilizing the power of story through our toggle framework. And don't forget, the best is yet to come. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for today's episode here at Speakers TV. My name is Sam Cawthorne and we are super excited about Speakers TV and about these episodes that we bring to you every single weekday as well as also on every single Saturday. Guys, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any feedback at all for us, or maybe you want to comment right now in the chat bar about what was your biggest takeaway from today's session. But also not only that, why don't you join us? So here at Speakers Institute, we do have a number of programs such as our online boot camps or our protege program. At Speakers Tribe here, we're all about running these big, large annual conferences every year. But also not only that, there is an annual membership that you can get where in your city we do have tribe gatherings, all really encouraging you going from where you are today to where you really want to be. Or maybe you want to tell your friends and your family about Speakers TV. But can I please encourage you, why don't you like this page? Why don't you join us each day? Why don't you tell other people about these episodes? Because we are all about really helping you on this journey to becoming that recognized voice of authority, for you to find your message and your story and get that out there into the world. We are super excited about your journey, so please lean in and join us today. To your success, my name is Sam Cawthorne, and don't forget, the best is yet to come.